Hi guys. Hi. Cynthia's battery died, so we're just gonna get it back up now. Hi. I'm just waiting for Cynthia to come back on. Her phone died, so we're just gonna get her back in. Oh, thank you. I've just seen the comments there. No worries. At least we're trying to keep conversations going with people. So yeah, that's the aim. Um, yeah. So the protests, there is actually one coming up. I know that Liz is planning something. So yeah, there'll be one coming up. There's been a couple. There was one in Dundee that just happened, and an Edinburgh one that's on the way. Perfect. Right. Well, Lizzie's on. I'll add her quickly, and then I'll do.
Hey, hey.
Hello. Hiya. Sorry, Cynthia's phone died, and then we had like 1 minute left. So I was like, I'll just cut this one, save it, and then come back on again. So yeah, we'll do it again.
What?
Um, I'm trying to think where was I at with the questions. I'll double check. Oh yeah, we're talking about the name. What do you think about the new name?
I like it. I think it's really good. Um, yeah, I think it kind of encapsulates the for lack of better words, just like the whole like all blackness, doesn't it? You know?
Hmm.
So yeah, no, I really like it.
Good. Good. I'm trying to think that. Oh, your connection's dipped.
Oh, there you are.
You there?
Yep, here. Sorry.
Sorry, I've took myself off on 4G because Sky just moves mad and
Oh,
Sky Wi-Fi. It
yeah.
is what it is. Um, but yeah. So, what do you think? What should the public expect in the next, like, the upcoming months?
Um, they should expect hopefully, well, from sort of my side of things of ACS, um,
Mm,
I think quite a bit. So the project that I want to do is effectively for education. So um, they'll be hearing about us sort of loud and proud, really. And
Mhm.
in terms of all in one, um, obviously this isn't like an ad or anything, you know what I mean? But like, if people are interested in education reform or whatever, please definitely get in touch, and look us up on Instagram and Facebook, because we need everyone on board, you know. So in the next couple of months, there's going to be some change, and there will be
Mhm.
out there for sure.
Perfect. What I'll do is when I've posted the videos, you can tag the all-in-one account so
Perfect.
that everyone can follow it. And I've seen someone had questioned asking about the if we have an ACSS account. What we're going to do is we're going to change this account over anyway. So once we get registered,
Hmm.
I'll change the name and then we'll go under the ACSS. So we've got a Facebook group, which is it's private, isn't it? The group we've got.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's a Facebook group that is private, and that is for the Black community. So anyone that wants to join onto that, they can join on it. We have our Facebook page, which is linked to this Instagram account. Are we going to change it?
The Facebook page, I believe so. I think that's something that we might continue to talk about, because I don't know if this is also just going to be for any other sort of rallies or whatever we put on in the future.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, I think we'll have a chat about that. I guess I'm not sure.
yeah. I think Facebook is easier because Facebook's not that busy. But for the Instagram account, I was instead of having two separate Instagrams that I'm doing,
Mm,
I'm just gonna switch it over. And there will be so when it is protest and stuff, we will still record them, film them,
mm,
advertise, and everyone will know about it.
mhm.
Before you actually joined, a couple of people had asked if there was any more protests in Edinburgh, and I know that you had voiced your ideas today. So if you want to just briefly, if you want, if you want to let everyone know what you're kind of hoping to do.
Yeah. So as I'm sure everyone knows, there's been hundreds and hundreds of petitions being put together, for a change in the curriculum,
Mm,
and in schools, and that's something that I feel very strongly about. Like I mentioned before, I don't have any kids, but one day when I do have kids, I want them to be learning
mm,
it all, like the true history, like UK's true history, Scotland's
mm,
history. Um, so, with that, I'm hoping to put on another rally, like another protest. I'm going to make the Facebook event. I was supposed to do it, I think, last night. I don't know. My days are like sort of multi one right now, but yeah. So I'm going to make the Facebook event sort of tonight, tomorrow, with more details and stuff. So if people are interested, it'd be great to have people along. Again, there'll be social distancing measures put in place, and yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be beautiful. It'll be a little bit later on in the month of August, and yeah, there'll be more. I'll
sounds
see
good.
if you can put some stuff out on the Instagram as well about it.
I will do anything I can do to support and help. I'll do it.
Mm.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask you about your personal development because I feel this is very most times when I do them, it's a mix of personal and like actual professional, like what they're doing and what their
Mhm.
like job is and stuff. So I wanted to find out how do you think you have developed as a person since June the 7th or since this year?
Um, I think I've changed quite a bit. I think personally,
Hmm.
because since June the 7th, well, let's be honest, since that horrific video went up about George Floyd, and then everything kicked up, and then the protest on the 7th. I don't know about you, but because being raised in Scotland, like I've been going through a very strange, like fast whirlwind of a journey of me and trying to um get more comfortable with my identity and like being like
Yeah,
black, and I'm proud of being black in Scotland. You know what I mean? So personal
yeah.
development, I think for my own self, like for being quite self conscious usually, about
Hmm.
being black, I think I've come a long way. I've still got a long way to go. Still
Yeah.
to work on. I mean, in the terms of like, Scottish history and um all of that kind of thing, I still have a lot of educating to do for myself. Um,
Hmm.
but as you can imagine, being black, there's a lot we're already doing.
Yeah.
There's a lot we're already doing. So I'm getting there. definitely getting there. How do you feel that your personal development's coming along?
Um, I feel like it's every day something new, and it's one of those things of I've learned how to disassociate a lot more than what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And just in a sense of when George Floyd happened and with the whole busyness of planning the protest, like it was good because I could channel that like hurt into the protest and into
Mm-hmm.
what we were doing. But I think it's those times when you like do forget that it is bringing up trauma and it is bringing up like your childhood and it's bringing up all the things that you went through as like
Mm-hmm.
as a young black person in a white world. So it's one of those things of having to disassociate. Like, yes, I understand it a little bit more now, and that understanding is that I am black and it's happened to me because I'm black. But
Mm-hmm.
it's having to then realize that I can't be angry at 25.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. I can't. There's nothing I can do. I can't go and shout at the teacher. I can't go and shout at the little kids because we're all adults now anyway, and I don't know where they are. But it's like if I get angry about it, then what help is that doing to myself and to anyone around me?
Do you not feel though that like not being able to get up and shout at a teacher or do this or that is because there's that stereotype of like we're just angry black women?
Hmm.
So it's like we can't show our uh we can't be angry if we're angry because we're angry.
Yeah.
We can't be very overly happy because it's seen as like, oh, that's quite aggressive.
Hmm.
Um, so do you feel like that kind of ties into how you're feeling as well, or is it just a straight up like you don't want to be angry anymore?
I think it's a bit of both because I'm like, if I do get angry, then I will be that angry black woman.
Yeah.
So I know I'll get to that point, and I know that it would just be one of those things of, say, if I was to lash out and whatever, that would then paint a picture for 10 black girls that person's going to interact with.
Mm.
Does that make sense? Or like whatever, it's going to paint a picture. And I think it's more just that, like, I think I'm very aware that if I speak my truth or if I defend myself, I am portrayed as a little bit worse. But at the same time, I sometimes use that to be like, no, just because I'm black, I am going to stand my ground. I'm not going to sit there silently. I'm not going to turn my voice down just because you think whatever. Because even I'm a loud person, I have a loud voice anyway. So me talking to someone, they could think I'm shouting, but I'm just loud.
Mm.
So it's one of those things of like I've had it so many times when people like don't need to get angry, and I'm like, when I'm angry, you'll know I'm angry because then it'll be a different level of loud. This is just
Yeah.
my happy voice. This is my normal volume.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
How do you find it being like portrayed as that and having to like channel your emotions?
Um, I'll be honest, I think I have had quite a funny relationship with that and me and dealing like with my anger and how I bring it out. Partially because of that stereotype of being an angry black woman. Um, so a lot of the time I've gotten a lot better now because well I'm 28 this
Mm.
I've gotten a lot better now over this past year or so. But I used to just like keep it. I would keep it and just not be angry at all.
Yeah.
But now I'm at a point where it's like, if you're going to view me as an angry black woman, view me as an angry black woman, but I'm angry for this reason. Like,
Yeah.
I don't, as long as you're hearing me, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, call me an angry black woman or call me aggressive or whatever because of my tone. Cool. But are you hearing what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
As long as you're hearing the points behind what I'm saying.
totally, totally. And it's,
Do you think? Oh, sorry.
no, on you go, on you go.
No, it's fine. Keep going.
No, I was just gonna say like it's ridiculous obviously that we have to have that stereotype on us, you know? But
Hmm.
sometimes I'm like, well, we're not heard until we're angry, you know?
Yeah.
Till we're hurt or till we're upset. So sometimes you kind of have to go with it, you know what I mean? I don't
Hmm. Do you sometimes feel pressure on the whole? Because I feel like a lot of black women feel like the world looks at them to look after everyone else, and the world, we are the mothers of the world, and we are the fixers of the world, and we're going to do everything for people. So, do you feel that that's kind of you've got the pressure on you?
know. A little bit. I feel like, especially with this movement, um, I feel like it's it's now obviously being put on our hands to make all the change. So,
Hmm.
you know, I mean, I haven't had many cases of it recently, but you know, some conversations I'm having with like white friends, or just white people in general, um, it's like, I'm kind of like, I'm not here to educate you, you know?
Mm.
So, like, I'm not here to teach you. I can't do that at the same time as trying to fix all these problems that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, me and other Black people are facing because no one
Yeah.
else wants to do it. So it's us that have to do it. It's us that have to look after everybody. It's us that has to fix
Mm-hmm.
the problem, you know? Like, yeah. So I guess slightly, but yeah, slightly in that sense of it, if that made any sense.
Have you had a lot of people, well, a lot of like allies come, ones that are like in your circle? Have you had a lot of allies come and approach you, being like, "So I read this book today, and I read this and whatever." And it's kind of like they're coming to you for you to like pat them on the back for doing things they should be doing.
Um, I've had like I don't so the ones that have so my friends that have come to me to be like, oh, I've read this book or I've read this book. Um, I know it hasn't been in a sense of like, oh, look what I've done uh
Yeah.
to like help the movement because like I have trust in my friends and I know that they're genuinely trying to better themselves and trying to
Mm-hmm.
do all that. But I think there's definitely some pages that I follow on Instagram or will come across on Instagram, and you'll see that they've been posting or mentioning books here and there, and then
Mm-hmm.
that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I get it. Like I get that you're not always going to be continuously posting or whatever, but yeah, you can't just read one book and then post a post and think that you've fixed it. You've fixed the
Everything.
ingrained like systemic racism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think what people need to understand is that it's a continuous thing. I do have conversations with friends and they're like, "Oh, I've read this book. Have you read it?" And not that I feel like it's like a oh pat me on the back or pressure, but sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I get a bit overwhelmed and I'm just kind of like I don't have time. You know what I mean?
Literally.
I'm like trying to
You're
make
doing so much.
I'm doing so much already. Like I don't have time. So sometimes I feel like there's almost like people expect that you've already read it or you might know these certain facts because we're black.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm
Yeah.
like, check, no. Like I've no idea.
Literally.
Like I'm late to the party. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I wish people would understand that and just know that, we're fighting this fight at the same time
Mm-hmm.
as trying to educate ourselves about certain things. And especially us in Scotland, I feel is like because as horrific as racism and discrimination is in Scotland, which people might
Mm-hmm.
want to disagree with it if you want, but it's very true. Um, I feel like it's very different to how it is in the States. And
Mm.
so like for me, I don't know all of Scotland's history and the horrificness or the greatness of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Black history. So, I mean, if you learn something and you come to me being like, "Oh my God, I didn't know like this. That's amazing. Like this person did this thing," or "Oh, that's horrific. That happened in this time." I'd be
Mm-hmm.
surprised if I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't know that either." Like I had the same
Yeah.
education. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's a fair point. I actually seen this funny thing the other day, and I was like, it was like a little meme kind of thing,
mm,
and it was basically like I think it was like the best performing Oscar goes to everyone who posted a black square and is doing nothing about it.
yes.
And I was literally like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
You know that was when you literally just like,
Yeah. Oh, it's so true. It's so
that was
true
right.
though. But I think that's if anything, that's just more of why that's just more of a what words am I looking for? Um it's more of like a visual of like how why we need to start changing stuff. Because
Mm,
it's all well and good for you to turn up, post a post, read a book, post a black square, but if you're not continuing to do the work or
mm-hmm.
acknowledging that there is like horrific racism and discrimination, then you know you need to check yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's one of those things that it's not so much been like my actual circle of friends. It's been people that like I've not spoken to in a long time.
Mhm.
Like if I've not spoken to in the past 5 years, you know, when I message me being like, "So white fragility said this. What does it mean?" I'm like, Huh? Like, I've not seen you in so long, but now you want to ask me about a book, or you want to tell me that you've done whatever, or like,
Uh,
and it's one of those things that like I get it because I've had those messages of people in solidarity, which is good,
mhm.
but sometimes I don't know what you want me to say. Like,
Exactly.
do you know what I mean? We've all unlearned behaviors in the past. Even look at how people treat the LGBTQIA community now
Mm.
from how they used to. We all did steps to like, unlearn the behavior. So if I wasn't out here screaming to people in that community, being like, "Oh, I did this, I did whatever," like I went into CC's and it was fine. I felt
Mhm.
safe. Like I didn't feel like I had to make those announcements. So why is it now common knowledge that they're making those announcements?
Totally. But you're so right. It's that thing of like, white fragility said this, like, what do you think? And it's just kind of like, I mean, we can talk about it, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, for me, if I haven't read it or if I don't know much about it, I'm not gonna be able to tell you much. But don't just assume that I'm gonna have like a mad opinion about it
Mm-hmm.
because I'm black. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like being black is like, oh, so you know everything, like you're really clued up about white supremacy and white fragility and stuff because obviously we're on the back end of all the horrificness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I mean, I only know within my experience, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's that thing of like, don't come at us with like, what do you think of this? Just be like,
Yeah.
oh, have you read this? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
great.
Or like, oh, I've seen this. It was interesting. What do you think?
Yeah,
Or things like that. Don't just think we know about it.
yeah, totally. Don't just assume we know everything because we don't know everything. And every black person's experience, although horrific with racism, is also different because we're all different
Mm-hmm.
people. You know, we deal with it
Mm-hmm.
differently. So, yeah.
It's a tough one. How have you managed to coordinate the workflow since the demonstrations?
How have I managed to coordinate the
Workflow,
uh,
like everything.
everything? So is that like outside ACS as well? Like, so just general
Yeah.
stuff? Um, hanging by a thread. There's a lot, but getting there. Definitely with the education team for ACS, it's I've got some really, really great members who are, it's not that I'm like, I don't really see it as like, oh, I'm the leader. I'm just kind of like, we're all in this together. You know what I mean? So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of help from them as well. Like we're all helping each other and, bouncing ideas off each other. So workflow for that is actually pretty decent. The all-in-one stuff is a bit more fast-paced and
Mm-hmm.
is so there's a lot, and I'm also like learning day to day as well of like different things I'm
Mm-hmm.
having to do in this like role that I've managed to kind of jump into. So yeah, managing the workflow.
Just managing.
How about you? How are you managing it? Because you're obviously head of the health and well-being, but then you're also at uni and you're studying. How are you
Yeah.
managing? And you
Um.
also have Dean as well. Oh, sorry, I don't know if you want me to say
No,
his
it's
name.
fine. No, it's fine to say his name. But yeah, no, it's a lot. I enjoy sleep. I enjoy when he sleeps, and just yeah. Like, nah, it's been fine. And like, luckily, like I have a lot of support, and I have like a really good support system. So he spends time with my parents and his dad as well. So obviously now that things are kind of released, he's got his two households that he's
Mhm.
able to see and like spend time with. So yeah, just kind of like try and manage when he's sleeping. I don't know if you've noticed, I do night shift and I will message in the WhatsApp group at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
and all kinds of crazy hours. But yeah, I literally like he'll go to bed and then I will stay up till like 3, 4 a.m. just doing little bits of work and doing whatever. But yeah, managing. I kind of hope that like when he because he goes back to nursery in a couple of weeks, so I know that when he's back at nursery, at least have 2 days a week when I've got like actual daytime days to just do blocks of like admin.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, because we've just gone back to my own flat, we've been in my parents for the past 3.5 months of lockdown, so
Mhm.
it's trying to get used to like being a single parent again and trying to spend time with him, but then answer emails and then answer messages and try and do lots of different things. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm kind of like getting there, managing as you said.
Yeah.
That's the term.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot, but I think we're all doing really well.
Yeah, I'm proud of us. I really am proud of us.
Yeah, same. I think we've come in terms of like, and Cynthia's been like just the queen, like
She is.
like since the organizing of the protest. I feel like we've come on leaps and bounds. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think the other day it was you that was saying how like we hadn't really spoken much recently, but I think we're all just so
Yeah.
busy with getting work done
Yeah.
that it's like,
Mhm.
you know, we're kind of losing touch to catch up with each other. But yeah.
And I think that's kind of one of the things. I think because like we're also busy within our mini teams that the main like original teams have like kind of quietened. But
Mhm.
I think because of that, I'm like, are we all doing the same work? Are we all like going at the same pace? That I've been like worried like has my work done less or more? Or like what's going on? But yeah, I think it is one of those things of once we actually get like a base and we get registered and we can actually start doing things and processing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna start heading off.
Well,
So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be great. I think we're going to do great things for the Black community in Scotland and hopefully further. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm amped for it.
I know. Same.
Hmm.
And lastly, is there anything that you would like to say to the viewers before we go?
I feel like there's a pressure. I'm like, oh my God, I should.
No, just anything they might need to know, anything you want to say, or anything. I don't know.
I guess all
I think because it's always me on it, I'm like, oh, it's kind of nice to see a different face.
I guess all I can really say is like, you know, keep educating. Like you need to educate
Mhm,
yourself. Like I think I've had a couple of conversations where people are like, I mean, what can I even do? And it's like you can read books, you can have conversations, you can sign petitions, you
mhm,
can protest. There's like there's
mhm.
loads of resources out there. So it's just keep educating, you know?
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, I'll put out that stuff about the protests. I'll get that done tonight. And I'll send it over to you. And then if you could share that with our
perfect.
wonderful Instagram following, that'd be great.
I will do. For anyone wondering if there's anything you can do to help charities and stuff,
Mm,
there's a YouTube video that I generally just have it on in the background all the time. And keep the adverts open, just watch it. It donates money with adverts. So
yeah,
that's something to do for background noise.
yes, definitely,
But
definitely.
yeah. Perfect. Yeah, that's pretty much us. Thank you for coming on. It was nice. And yeah, we'll keep everyone updated. We'll let you know when the name changes. And yeah, check our Facebook, check our Instagram. We've got a Twitter, but it's not as active as the Instagram and Facebook is. So
Mhm.
yeah, just keep checking socials, and we'll keep you updated and posted on anything.
Yes, brilliant.
Perfect. Well, I'll see you soon. Enjoy your night and enjoy moving house. It's
Oh,
a lot.
don't even. Thank
I
you.
don't envy you, but just know we've got release. We're meeting up on Thursday, so it's fine.
Yeah, totally, totally. Thanks, Benita. I'll speak to you soon.
No worries. Bye.
Bye bye.